What's poppin', guys, and welcome to this exclusive interview with Simone Caporale, hosted by Flavor Blaster.
Wow. Learn your maths, your number, be a bartender.
Simone, thank you so much for joining me today for What's Poppin' on Flavor Blaster. We obviously know you very well here at Flavor Blaster, but just for those that may not have heard of you before, do you mind giving us a quick introduction about you, your work within the industry, and also your work with Flavor Blaster as well?
Hello, everyone. My name is Simone Caporale. I'm a bartender. Lucky enough to have explored and experiment from the very first stages what Flavor Blaster was all about. And here we are, once again together, doing crazy things in the bar.
Yeah, so I was just explaining to Simone how this is our brand new series called What's Poppin'. So today we're going to be discussing all of the most trending and relevant topics within the bartending industry. Simone, you've just been to London, and more importantly to me, as a huge F1 supporter, you've just been to Silverstone. So can you tell me a little bit about the work that you were doing there and how you found it?
Basically, the reason why I was in Silverstone because one of the brands I've been working with for over the last 8 years is Peroni. Peroni Nastro is an Italian beer brand. And for this year, it has become also the official partner of the Aston Martin Cognizant Formula One team. And funny enough, for Peroni Azzurro, I'm sort of I am a brand ambassador, mainly to promote the Italian excellence abroad. They asked me to design some perfect serve with Peroni, either Nastro Azzurro or the Peroni Libera, which is the version without alcohol. And guess what? We were playing with the Flavor Blaster all over the circuit of Silverstone.
It's just so amazing that we're able to take the Flavor Blaster to different places and different locations, and it suits so many different audiences as well. But you were talking a little bit about bringing Italian abroad, and I think that's really important, and something about your work. I know a lot that you've been traveling a lot recently, which must be so great after lockdown and the past year and everything like that. So from your experiences traveling and speaking about what's poppin', what's relevant, is there anything that you've noticed in the different countries that you've taken inspiration from?
What inspired me the most is how people consume, how people eat or drink. Not necessarily the flavors, but the forms, the way how they drink. For example, in Thailand, I saw this beautiful, unfortunately they were made of plastic, this kind of a handle that you could hang on your bubble tea glass with this plastic handle. Never seen before.
No.
Very simple, but very genius. So in 2015 in London, we created a drink which it wasn't served over a table, over a coaster, but instead was served hanged from an handle. And you were hanging the drink on the ends of the guests. And people say, oh, wow. Yeah, it was wow even for us. But in the other side of the world, it was absolutely normal, that kind of things, for an iced tea on the street.
How do you think the rise in technology, the rise in digital media has changed the bartending industry?
Definitely changed it. I think it made it more virtual and it made it less real. Nowadays, you see beautiful pages of cocktails, social media, spectacular pictures. Cocktails say, wow, I want to put my hands into it. I want to put my lips into it. I want to try. But they're actually fake. There are things that don't exist, not because they are pictures, simply because they are made for the purpose to fill up a space on a page. Still, is a very good form of inspiration, of a visual inspiration for a professional to back to the bar and say, I want to do something that looks as beautiful as that thing, and then it tastes delicious.
That's what it's all about. I think getting that blend together, because you're right, Instagram is great, but sometimes Instagram can make everything look perfect and look amazing, but it's not the reality. And it's about having that great taste with also those visuals. So that is a really good point.
In my opinion, the reality is made of two things.
Yeah.
Things that you can touch and things that you can feel here. And the rest is irrelevant.
Yeah. So talking about that then, how much do you think emotions come into bartending? Are you quite an emotional bartender in the way that you work?
I think it's what moves you forwards.
Yeah.
It's what makes you think outside of the box.
Yeah.
And being able to, first of all, if you don't have emotion, you're not alive.
Yeah.
And this society is having less and less and less emotion, unfortunately.
Yes.
But going back to the world of the bar, if you're emotional, eventually you can also be more fragile. That's true.
Yeah.
But you're more sensitive and sensible to things. So eventually you can understand, or you can capture what people are looking for, what people want, how other people feel. This is also called empathy, I believe, for a matter of service, for the matter of how to make people feel comfortable, but at the same time, for a matter of taste. So being in a hot city like Barcelona, for example, right now, I'm at SIP right now. I'm in my bar. You know, put yourself in the shoes of a guest that just walk in. Outside is 35 degrees.
Yeah.
They come into the bar and they got two options. You're giving them two options. To try a beautiful cocktail like the one you see in Instagram, because ultimately they see things in Instagram, and to give me a beautiful cocktail that is so refreshing because they're about to set themselves on fire because of the heat outside. And this is something that you must feel yourself, because there are no digital standards that eventually will guide you to this. And unfortunately, this comes with time, with years of experience. You can learn all the cocktail if you're talented in 1 month.
Yeah.
But you will still need the experience of being there.
Yeah.
And it's something that you cannot buy.
And it's those experiences that make you so deeply connected to what you're doing and be able to project that emotion within your work. So I think that's really interesting. Looking forward then towards the future of bartending, how do you see what you've just said there coming into the future?
I can tell you what's the present of bartending.
Yeah.
The future, you should be a magician.
Yeah.
But the current time, I believe, of bartender is to start to respect more.
Yes.
The product.
Yes.
So kind of respect the raw material. So you take it and try to take the most out of it in a very creative way.
Yeah.
For example, one idea when it comes on garnishing your cocktail, that extra detail you put on top before bringing it to the table. Funny, very funny. I do an example. I can do 100, but let's make one.
Yeah.
In many places, you got beautiful cocktail with passion fruit.
Yeah.
Passion fruit and vodka, whatever. Of course, they buy the juice of passion fruit because the real fruit costs you a lot of money.
Yeah.
But then, to give this kind of a liveliness, they buy a passion fruit, they cut it in half, they put it as a garnish on top. You bring it to the table. Half passion fruit is around 30p, so it costs a lot of money also. They drink the cocktail, they won't eat the passion fruit, bring it back, throw it to the garbage. So you just made a cocktail without any, with most likely partially artificial flavor of passion fruit in the cocktail, with the real passion fruit as a garnish that nobody cares. So option number 2, and that's what we thought here. We're doing a cocktail with passion fruit. We don't garnish it with the fresh passion fruit because we know that people will not appreciate it. Instead, we use fresh passion fruit for the flavors. And as a garnish, with the flavor blaster, we build a small set of bubbles on the top. Not one, a small set of bubbles that looks like a giant blackberry, sort of. No? That's a garnish. People will enjoy, will capture with the foam. They will experience it with the lips, with the palate, with the nose. And then it will varnish, and you will access to your cocktail. It is a garnish that it's there and it's not there.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's a real sensory experience.
Any negative repercussion.
That is such a good point. I'm really, really happy you've said that. Now that we've learned a little bit about your ideology, how you see the future of bartending, I'm going to put you on the spot and I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions. So are you ready?
Fire.
Are you ready? Okay. Question number 1, what is your favorite cocktail?
All of them.
All of them. Okay. What is the most important thing you've learned as a business owner?
Learn your maths, your numbers.
Yeah. If there was
and when you think you're right, do it again.
If there was something that you could do over again, what would you do?
I'd be a bartender.
Who or what inspires you most as a person?
Oh, that's not an easy question.
No.
A few bartenders who now are definitely more old than me. They might be around the 50, 60 or 70 years old right now, but not for the matter of the cocktails.
No.
For the matter to see how to see a bar working, functioning.
Yeah. So more the ideology behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is one thing that you think everyone should know?
Be alive.
I like it. That is a very, very important thing. The last question is, what has surprised you most about yourself in the last year?
I lost a little bit of weight. I managed to open sips with Mark, despite being closed for 1.5 years, and still surprised me. And what surprised me is the fact that, again, I have a lot of friends all around the world that are happy to share things with me, and you know, we always, it's a sort of an open source of exchanging ideas, even sometimes just to say hi, how are you, that's beautiful things, without any agenda behind, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, no, definitely. You've survived the quick fire questions, so well done for that. The last thing that we want to do with you then is we have a brand new feature on this show called Poppin or Droppin. Essentially, I'm going to give you some topics that are trending within the bartending industry and just the wider communities, and I need you to tell me whether you think they're poppin', so whether you think they're worth the hype, whether you are really interested in them and you're excited to see where they're going to go in the future, or whether you think they're dropping, which means they're probably overrated and you don't think it's that great.
Like this.
Okay. Yeah.
Poppin,
you can do a thumbs
dropping.
down. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
So the first one is cryptocurrency and Bitcoin.
So far it works, Poppin.
Second one, which you were talking a little bit about before, is non-alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic cocktails.
Poppin.
Yeah? Why?
Poppin.
Why do you think they're popping?
Because a non-alcoholic option has always existed.
Yeah.
As simpler now, they're approaching a different way, in a more complex, a more elegant way. Before, a non-alcoholic option was orange juice with ginger ale and with a slice of orange or some grenadine. Yeah, it was shit, but that's what it was. And nowadays you see more effort.
That's a really good point. Okay, so the next one is AI technology and the automation of the bartending industry. So this can be something as simple as, because of COVID, now having to order your drinks on an app rather than ordering them at the bar. Or it could go as extreme as full AI bars, which I know there's one in London, and it's completely automated and it's completely machine ran. How do you feel about this?
I got to answer. Poppin for the fact that you can pre-order something like even the same for the food. But at the same time, it's drop-in, because the reason why bars and restaurants has existed for hundreds of years is not because it was the only place to get food to drink. No, because it was the only place where you can get a human interaction.
Yeah.
And there's something you cannot replace with any app. No. So good idea to book your table on the app. Good idea to have a bottle of champagne nicely chilled on your arrival with the app. but who's going to give you a nice smile? Who's going to remind your name and ask, how was your weekend?
Yeah.
No phone, no application. And luckily, bartending or the hospitality is still one of those businesses that are still strongly related to the human interaction. And you cannot replace you with the phone, luckily. Otherwise, we would be all unemployed
out
right
of jobs.
now.
Yep, I agree. So would you say that's half pop-in, half drop-in?
Yeah, and about the automated bar, I can challenge this bar that bartenders are way faster than any robot.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the next one is sustainability in bartending. So we're talking about this before. This is obviously something that's very relevant. So do you think it's pop-in or drop-in?
It's pop-in as long as you do it not to become a preacher, but you do it to really do something positive to your space. As I said before. Also, I remind myself every day that what I do is not essential for the world.
Yeah.
Because I might be pouring you a beautiful rum, but right now there are thousands of people who don't have a glass of water.
Yeah.
And that's what reminds me every day that I'm very lucky in what I do, but I know that I should dedicate some time from my time to things that really, 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 really matter.
The last thing that I wanted to ask you then is there anything that you can bring to what's poppin' or what's dropping? So is there a theme that you think is really relevant at the moment that you've noticed within the bartending industry that people should be paying more attention to?
Yeah, most of the business now, they are very affected by this review, influencer, which is all digital and can be partially fake, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I believe that make sure you build new fans in your bar and more than reviews. Be real. Smile people at the entrance. Not just, give us a rate on the what do you call this, TripAdvisor. No, just see you later. That's my card. Text me next time you're in the town. I'll get you a table. That's the hospitality, you know. This is a human touch once again. Our professional is not built on clicks and likes. It's built on hard work. It's built on passion. It's built on a human interaction.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that is a great way to end this interview. So thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for joining us at Flavor Blaster for What's Poppin'. I'm sure we've got many more exciting things in the future, as do you. So stay tuned for all of those. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome, Lorna.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that video, please subscribe and hit the like button for more exclusive What's Poppin' content. To find out more about us, you can visit our website at flavorblaster.com or check out our social media pages.